So, beefing up sounds in that previous video using the filter. I wondered about looking at the ARP this time, just probably not quickly but just quickly, and at the moment the ARP is set to a 1% gate. Let's have a look at the other stuff. So it's set to off, so it's not always playing. It's on pattern mode, quarter note value, which only affects the arpeggiator, not the pattern mode. Pattern speed affects speed though, so right, so at the moment the filter's closed off because that's what I set it to, in just in case you didn't know. If you do initial controller amounts, all these controllers, wherever the controls are in position, when the lights are off, they're at their initial amount. So as soon as I turn it from 0 upwards, it'll go to red, and that would be the same for all of these because I've set them all to 0. So I know each patch when I start, the initial amount from the controller is going to be at the 0. See how that's changing? So you can actually see the exact amount you're going to set, or you can change it with the wheel, obviously. Moving on, back to ARP, and therefore we'll open the filter as we're pressing the key. So this is just a sine wave, not a sine wave, a saw wave, producing this one layer at the moment. So let's change the ARP pattern speed. So there we go. Anyway, right, so that's we'll put it back to 1 at the moment. That's Gabber, the pattern name. Velocity is as played, so if I play it softer, it gets there. Play it harder, it doesn't change at all, and that's because in the patch chords there's nothing set up to be responsive to volume. So I'd have to set that up, which we're not going to do this time at least. Back to ARP, velocity played, because you can set the velocity to whatever you want, you see. And because we've got nothing to change the velocity in the chords as a connection, it won't change anything. Right, velocity, so we've got gate at 1%. Does this make a difference? Let's have a look. Need to change the gate parameter. So there you can see, you do auditorily, is that a word? You can get a longer or shorter gate signal for the note, which allows it to fully play out to the envelope that you specified, or just to be super short. So we'll start on it super short. Nice little popping sound, so we can hear the changes in the ARP. Then we go to extension count. What does this do? Extend it by 1. So what effectively that does is it plays through the list of notes, takes it up, I think it's an octave, plays through the notes again, and if it's 3 it'll take it up again, play it through it as an octave. So you're going to get 4 repetitions of the base layer and 3 extensions of that. And then you've got the next layer, which is the extension interval. There we go, just go back to that forgot to change that to 0. Change this to 1. So this will now play the notes in the arpeggiator and then up it with a space of 3, so 3 semitones. So that's fun. And then just to drill home the extension count, if you extend it by 2, it'll play it 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and then back down to the first one again. So that's extension S. Let's drop extension back down to 1, but we'll leave, or should we? No, I think what we'll do is we'll drop that down to 1 as well, so it just plays the pattern. Except I didn't change the right one there. That's 0. Where is it? Extension count 0, extension interval 1. So sync quantized basically means you can either have it to play exactly when you play the key, or if you put it onto quantized, it'll put it on each beat of the note when the sequence is running. So see how there's a delay then? That's because it's quantized to the internal clock. So that'll match up with the rest of your music if you want it to do that. Pre-delay. This is an interesting one. So immediately press the key. I get the arpeggiator. If I change this now to 1, it means a complete note will go through, and then it'll start. So in other words, you can play a so that's quite a fun thing. If we drop that down a bit to, so all of a sudden we've got a nice little so there's no delay if I'm holding one key down, so I get the pre-delay there, but not if I go that's something to bear in mind in your play style. Duration. So now if we play through for a note length, we get, and it stops. See? That's interesting. Maybe that's because maybe it's because it was whilst the other. Yeah, so you have to be careful how you play it, because it'll alter how it comes out, obviously. Post delay. What does that do? Let's put that onto 1. I'll put it on half. Pause, play. And then puts a last little bit on the end. Okay, let's extend that to 2. Yeah, so that literally, you get a pre-delay where it plays the note you've played, then it plays the arpeggio, and then it finishes the arpeggio but carries on playing the note. Interesting. So let's drop that down. Short, and the reason for that is then we're going to go to recycle, which will give us Yeah, so then if we go back here and we shorten that down, and shorten the front pre-delay down, yeah, so then if we take the post delay down, so it sounds like another note's being played there, but just because it's recycling and it's got delays on, it alters how it sounds, which is rather fun. You can latch it on and put a key range in that it'll operate on. So if we went to here, there we go, put that as a C5, go back over here, then sounds like one of those Yamaha Portatone type things. Yeah, so that'll keep it to that end or the other end, or you can do it in the middle if you alter these two. So you could have it just as a short key range if you wanted to have it on from F4 there to maybe here. You could have it so just affecting a few keys, which is sometimes fun to do, I suppose. Let's take it back to -2 and G8. Now you can also do this with, let's just go back a bit to, let's level listen. So all of a sudden if you start shortening the duration down, so you can get a different rhythm, and of course you can apply that to, if you want to, if we go to a layer 1 instrument, let's go to a kit. If I can find one, there we go. So you've got the ability to really hone in on what kind of a rhythm you want to your drums. If you know you really want to play with it. And of course all that will be in time with whatever's playing to the tempo, etc, etc. Obviously that's on triplets, so you can get lots of interesting variations. Add that to the being able to tune it. Let's tune it a bit. And then if we go into so you get quite an interesting thing going on there if you like that sort of thing. And if you go to there we go. Sorry, extension interval, extension count. Yeah, so you can really have fun there. So that's, if you like that kind of thing, that's an interesting. That's just the second layer I brought in there. So anyway, moving on to my previous video, how to put an extra layer in and give it a bit of a boost in terms of the amp. So yes, let's get back to what I was doing with that preset originally. Right, so that's another possible exploration for you. Look at the arpeggiator with patterns, alter the timings of pre and post, whether you recycle it or not. Sounded like I was recycling something there. And there's another short-ish video. They're getting longer, aren't they? This is nearly 18 minutes. Hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next one.